What's up, guys? Hope you had a decent trading day. Um, yeah, pretty decent day in the morning, to be honest, but kind of got faded out into a pretty average day throughout the afternoon. But yeah, let's take a look at how everything closed. Let's take a look at some earnings reactions. There's really not that many big earnings reports today. I know net reports earnings. That's one that's been moving quite nicely recently, but other than that, Deutsche Telekom, possibly ASTS moves off of that, but I think that was this morning anyways. Yeah, that was this morning. It's just you got Airbnb, Monster, a couple big names, but again, nothing that I'm gonna focus on. Um, SNDK reaction was pretty decent to earnings. Let's actually take a look at that real quick. Still respected that channel. Good reaction though. It ended up almost turning green, kind of like we wanted. But we ended up catching it off that monthly perfect. We got a good interaction, waited for the break, waited for a close over, and I really didn't hesitate in taking my profits. I believe I scaled out somewhere along here, rather than waiting for the 1277 weekly. But yeah, let me take a look at some of the other trades I grabbed today. Let's see by date. So today we secured. Today we went 3 for 3. SNDK was the bigger one. It was 33% on those SNDKs. I ended up taking 15% on AXTI. That was a 10300 setup. I just took it off this reclaim right here, around 69, a little bit over it. And then ended up scaling out when I think it had one candle or two over 72. And I ended up just taking, I believe it was a 50 MA tap I was looking at too. Yeah, it was approaching the quarterly, and I saw the 50 MA there on the daily, and I was like, you know what? Let me just take this one, and see how it acts. But ended up moving a couple more dollars. Don't really care though. Um, so yeah, we had that. I had ASTS. I did have those ASTS 80 calls. I took 5. I ended up taking 4 off at that quarterly, which I thought was going to be a bad decision, to be honest. But I mean, this thing got beat up all day. So I definitely know this was shorts covering in the morning. Not sure what this sell-off was to follow it, but I'm not really too worried about it. I'm not selling covered calls against this until it's like 85, 90. Ideally, I don't really want to sell covered calls on it for quite some time, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, this one has earnings next week too, so just putting it on the back burner. I don't really need to look at it, but it was a good trade today. We added to MU as well, average close, but we added to those MU 1050s off that 854 break, which was pretty textbook. Reclaim the 9, reclaim the 21, reclaim the 50 intraday on the 5 minute, and had a really good run this morning. I didn't trim anything. I'm in all of them. I'm probably going to start looking to scale out of these next week, but for now we see. I ended up taking Amazon. Nice, decent close. So I added 300s for the 21st. Somewhere throughout here in the morning. Then on this tap, I believe on this dump right here, I added some more 300s for the 28th. And then down here, I believe, right around here, I added a full size for the 300s on the 28th. I was going to add a couple more 300s for the 21st, but I'm just going to let this one move a little bit. Ideally, this one gets back over 273 tomorrow, and then we could still push higher. But yeah, good fill. I did exactly what I wanted to today. It was trickling down right to the 10-300 levels on low volume. And there's still potential it wants to dip quick, tag the 250, 265, 262, which at that point we'll probably manage. So tomorrow, if we close under 271, I don't think I'm going to keep that full size on Amazon. I'll probably trim something down, but we'll figure it out tomorrow if it does fail. Other than that, let's see what I'm sitting in right now. Those SNXX 14 calls I sold are basically zero. I'm just waiting for them to expire. I still have one ASTS call. I still have that STX call, which I'm probably down about 50% on. I'll probably leave that till tomorrow, to be honest, and then I'll manage. I'm like, no reason to let this go to zero. I got those MUs. I had that one laser contract which I believe they do report earnings today. Let's see. They do report earnings today, so I'm again expecting zero on that one as well. And then other than that, I snagged a couple QURE. Wow, great close. Okay, so we see QURE had just a phenomenal base over those 10-300s again. So it was more of just why not try a swing against the 10-300s. So now, since I got that little follow through, if it does get back under 43.55, I'll probably just get out. But other than that, sitting in Amazon, that's really the only big trade. And then you figure MU is pretty big in terms of position size. Only 3 contracts though. It's about what, $3,500. Amazon, I'm sitting in about, let's see. Actually, they're basically the same. I got about $3,600 in each of them, which is, in terms of you know, just to put into perspective where I'm at for my account, or for what I typically do. My full size, like good market, amazing market. I've gone 20 grand before, you know, on swings. I've gone 25 grand. So in terms of like my actual full size, this isn't even close. I still don't really I'm not confident. I'm not going to say the market's not in an uptrend or whatever, but I'm just not confident in some of these setups, just the way everything's playing out. I need to wait for a little more confluence everywhere. So even though I say full size, like I'm still sizing down in this market, like significantly, almost tenfold. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're sizing. You know, have an idea of, you know, if you're confident in the market, if you understand what's going on, okay, this is X amount is my largest size. If you aren't confident, you know, which is based on you, you know, like almost all of us in the chat sometimes we perform best at different times in the market, which makes total sense. So this is why it's important for you to know, like, okay, in this environment, I'm only going to size $100. In this environment, I'm going to size 500. Okay, in this environment, or maybe not even environment, an exact setup. So like for example, Microsoft and Amazon, I knew I was going to size a little bit heavier than I normally have been, just because it was a Mag 7 on a 10300. So it's as simple as that. It still wasn't massive, but I knew to size bigger. So even if it's a certain setup that you understand, size more. But yeah, have that idea for yourself, just to let you guys, you know, get a perspective of where I'm at. I'm nowhere near my full size, but I'm really just trying to participate. You know, keep some exposure in the market. You know, keep my eyes training for options. Keep seeing how premiums moving on these 10300s. Just keep doing what I'm doing. And then, you know, I'll understand when I want to size more. But yeah, let's take a look at SPY and QQQ. Sorry, a little ramble there. SPY, no man's land for me. Just seeing if it backtests 760. There's really nothing to do here. Wait for the end of the week to see if these weeklies, you know, see where this weekly the candle closes at. Because you figure, let's see. I mean, I'll do this for now, just so I know it's there. But you know, once this candle closes, you can ping this other close level on it. But other than that, nothing to do. Really nothing to do. QQQ was decent in the morning. That 711 sweep ran all the way to 717. Could have scaled out right there. Not terrible. I watched it. We'll see where this opens up. It's possible that you can get that 717 play back up to 725 tomorrow. Even vice versa, back under 711 could test 704 tomorrow. I would look at both of those. That 704 is going to be hard because you'll have 21 MA and you'll have 9 MA basically coiling right there. We'll see how the market sets up. If it fails at 711, I'll go short. And then to be honest, if it tags 704, I'd probably go back long. So we'll see. So maybe have some fun tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, they're small trades. Ideally, this still builds the right side, and then this 725 becomes a little bit better of a level. That 5 points becomes a little harder. When I say a little more guaranteed, I want to say not even harder, like it would fail, but a little more guaranteed if this right side develops. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Really, nothing to do there. All right, let's take a look at 10300 today. Wow, a lot of classic names too. Damn, that GCT had another 10300 day. Okay. Back to back. Let's add this. All right, so we got GCT, IOVA, PAYC, CHYM, WPP, U, HRTG, VAC, CACY, CDRX, GDRX. Damn, fuck ton today. Laser just dumped after earnings, so that contract's going to be probably wiped, which is fine. Happens. That's what you get. AEVA, MGNI. Damn, a lot today. All right. All right, let's do that. And let's just sort by percent change today, just so we could take a quick peek at some of the new ones. Yeah, see, some of these have levels already. That's how I know they've been on here before. Look at this one. I remember this 10300 day. I regretted it was just a crazy run. So it's doing it again. Let's see. You know, now I know it's ran before. Okay. Wow. Okay. Decent, decent. Decent. Okay. All right, let's look at some of the ones that have been happening already. AXTI we took today, that was good. Honestly, decent close over the quarterly. See if it can backtest that 72, but I might just watch it. This one had a day 2. Wow. Oh, that's just a great flush. Nothing here yet. Again, if it rips up the second day, it's really likely I haven't taken it. I usually miss those. This one I wanted to take over 27, but they didn't have options, so I'm just gonna watch it. But still good to watch. Train your eyes. QURE we're in. We'll see if that builds. Shop we didn't touch, but decent move. See if it builds. Give me a couple more days. Okay. Building. Laser's done right now, I believe. I mean, I'll keep it on for now, but that's going to dump under the 10-300. I've tried this one twice. Yeah, that'll be down. We'll see where it opens tomorrow, and then I'll take it off. This one's not bad. Structure is really favorable for a trade, though, so nice hold to the 10-300. Yeah, a couple of these just need some couple more days. Amazon, we'll see. We'll see. Market conditions are a little building. Some of the, I mean, a lot of these I literally know I'm not going to end up taking. I'm just, I have to, I love watching them. Learn a lot. Yeah, these are all setting up. THC I didn't take. Wayfair a little uglier. This one I'm going to look at tomorrow. Feels explosive. You need that volume pop, but I love this little liquidity dump right here. You got a couple quick ranges though. Just average. We wait on Shaq. We wait. That one's ugly. Really not much to do tomorrow for 10-300. I feel like we're in all the good ones. We're really just developing at this stage. Let me sort these by what's moving on the week. Let's just take a look. RDW, I'm not going to take anything. TE was 650 today. Interesting. Plays nothing. Nothing. Wow, really strong move. This one held quarterly nicely. AHR trying to build. I really don't like it. I really don't like any of these. I'm just trying to click through. Let's see. Let me go a little bit closer so we can see. This one looked explosive, especially with the volume, but let's, again, no trade. A lot of these are trying to build over the 9 MA. We're starting to switch. Huh. Earnings coming up, no point. ONDS. Nothing. AVAV can be taken over 175. It's not terrible, but it's also just average. 9 MA will be a little bit closer tomorrow. Let's see. ASTS got covered today. Let's see if it gets bought back up. I don't know. I don't know what this one does. I'm definitely not watching it right now. VRT is actually not a bad short if it gets smacked off that quarterly again. A little bit choppy today. That liquidity bar was great, but smacks off it again. That's a hard quarterly right off to 21. The only thing is that 9 underneath. Ideally, this builds a little right side here, and that quarterly breakup should be decent, but we'll see where those moving averages are. Nothing. Ugh. Ugh. Not a bad move, but I'm not touching that. Marvel over that monthly will actually be really good at 218. It's one of the better setups I've seen on here. Marvel over 218 should be decent. Yeah, we can watch that. Johnny McCown. Right. CRDO off that quarterly today. Nice sweep. Nothing on it right now. Again, it looks like there's not a lot of setups because when you take off weeklies, I mean, there's not going to be a lot of setups. I'd also don't have monthlies on a lot of these too. That's because the ones I don't have it on, they're probably. I mean, I haven't finished charting everything, but I'm really not trying to take too aggressive levels on average names. I usually have monthly started up on the names that I trade a little more often. Nothing. Nothing. HP, I actually don't have anything charted up. Simple. Okay. Yeah, HPE looks really good, especially with that sweep back over the monthly today. That was perfect. I don't know if I take. Let me see. Could take shares. That range up to 64 is crazy. This would be the risk to reward right here. These are the ones that Hurley said. I like HPE just because that range is a little clearer. I know where it wants to go. Yeah, I don't know if I'm taking that Dell 444 again tomorrow. Let's just blast through these. Boom. Toast wicked at highs. Wicked at that 37 almost. Okay. Microsoft, you sick fuck. And you building. Nothing. Nothing yet. APH just a little slower moving. Wow, NLW great off 113 today. I gotta. Oh fuck. Okay, I gotta keep that. I gotta keep this one on my watch list. This. I think the bottom's in. It's just like, can you start? Can we start trading some level to level to the upside on NLW? I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I don't know why it's gapping after hours. All right, let's just go quick. Ooh, nice recovery. Nice. My bad. This is the boring part. This is the fucking boring part. I'm not really like, it's not like a Sunday night breakdown. It's just, does it look clean right away or does it? This one looks kind of clean. Right off the 9, right off the quarterly, but I'm going to keep it simple for tomorrow. MasterCard looks fantastic off that quarterly. Wow. Just, I don't know how this one moves. Maybe I keep an eye on it. Wow, really good sweep of the quarterly today. Still moves $10 intraday. It's not terrible. Google back testing that quarterly. Google off the quarterly tomorrow is not bad just because of how large this range is. And that Google News might have been a little overdone the other day too. So you know what? Google just because that's a hard quarterly and you have the 50 and the 9MA is going to be caught up yesterday or tomorrow. It's not a bad shot. Got a couple forms of support underneath. Nothing. Yeah. Average. Average. Wow, CLS got destroyed. After I said it was going to look good. Yeah, lackluster setups, to be honest. Wow, APP destroyed. Did I miss ASML? Or did it just look bad? All right, this one doesn't have any levels either. Average. All right. Honestly, so like I'm gonna manage my Amazon, but Marvel potential setup, NOW maybe. Google I'll watch off that quarterly, but other than that, it's really just managing my setups. You know, QQQ you can possibly take off those weeklies. Just observe how they interact off of them. You could take SPY and QQQ weeklies any day, every day, if you wanted to. It's just, you know, how good is the market right now, and you know, wait for the interaction and wait for the story to tell you, you know, kind of where it wants to go. You know, if you wait for that first attempt, you'll get a lot of information, a lot of information. So again, use levels, but you know, I would say play QQQ instead of SPY, just because there's really there's nothing here for hard liquidity. But other than that, yeah, trade observation day tomorrow, and then we got like 3 things to watch. So average day. But yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, enjoy the night.